Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about heat waves because it's been one of the most important topics that's been covered in the news in the summer, and I think we've been suffering them all over the world. We're going to work with three different texts. You can use the first one for consecutive, and I would also use the second one for consecutive, and if you're feeling brave enough, well, why not do it in simultaneous? If you're going to do the second text in simultaneous, as it is a nice long so-called shopping list, I would ask you to speed up the reproduction of that part of the video. And to finish off with today's study session, we're going to have 21 yes and no questions. I think you know how you're supposed to do this exercise, but you can always check the instructions, okay? And in the last part of the exercise, you're going to reply to questions. They are the so-called yes and no questions, and we've done this exercise before. So I will ask you a question, and you will see on the screen yes or no, and depending on what you see, you will reply yes or no and repeat the whole question I've asked you. Like, for example, are heat waves the main reason for wildfires? Sí. Las olas de calor son el motivo principal o la causa principal de los incendios forestales. 2022 has been a long and hot summer. There have been heat waves all over the world. Heat waves are periods of unusually hot weather. They typically last 2 or more days. When there is a heat wave, temperatures are usually 5 to 6 degrees higher than average for that time of the year. This year, in some parts of southern Spain, temperatures reached 52 degrees Celsius. The heat was so intense you could fry an egg on a stone surface in the sun. This type of weather is very bad for our health. Children and the elderly are more prone to suffer in this weather than the average citizen. They are also more prone to suffer from sunstroke, heat exhaustion, dehydration, and heat stroke. The best thing to do in this weather is to stay at home. Draw the curtains or pull down the blinds at 11 o'clock in the morning. Keep the windows closed and wear loose clothing. Eat light meals, salads, cold soups and fruits. In the early afternoon, when the temperatures are higher, don't go out in the sun. Wear a hat and wait until sunset to go out for a short walk. And drink lots of fluids, particularly water. One of the most terrible effects of heat waves are wildfires. The hotter the weather, the greater the risks of a wildfire, and more difficult they are to put out. More and more wildfires are happening worldwide. Indeed, since 2000, there have been an annual average of 70,072 wildfires all over the world. Consequently, there has been an annual average of 7 million acres burnt. Despite educating the population about the risks of hot weather and their relationship with fires, the number of wildfires worldwide is enormous and on the increase. The countries with most wildfires in 2021 were Canada, the United States of America, Spain, Portugal, Greece and Chile. Since 2020, there have been 1,498 fatalities due to wildfires. However, and this is a very interesting point, wildfire pollution has had a much greater toll and been linked to at least 33,000 deaths worldwide. Guatemala had the highest percentage, followed by Thailand, Paraguay, Mexico, Chile, Peru, Australia, Canada, and the United States. Heat waves are not the only cause of wildfires. Acts of arson are the main reason, followed by lightning, the burning of waste, discarding burning items like cigarettes, and unattended campfires. Are heat waves the main reason for wildfires? Is it true that Canada, the United States of America, Spain, Portugal, Greece and Chile were the countries with most wildfires in 2021? Are wildfires combined with rainstorms and lightning a deadly combination? Did you know that suffocation, injuries and burns are some of the main reasons for death due to wildfires? Did the smell of Portugal's forest fires reach Madrid this summer, which is 400 kilometers away? Were you aware of how popular flameless candles have become? Is it true that according to the European Forest Fire Information System, EFFIS, people are less aware now than in the past of the risk of wildfires? Is it true that forest fires are a frequent event only in the Western Mediterranean? Did you know that forest fires reduce wood production, hunting activities, hydrogeologic protection, increase CO2 emissions, and make fighting climate change a challenge? Did you know fires start when your attention stops? Were you ever told that it is essential to use a fire extinguisher in the incipient stages of a fire? Do you remember your teacher telling you if the fire is already spreading quickly to evacuate the building, closing doors and windows behind you as you leave? Did you tell the children this morning how fire extinguishers, fire blankets, Flamesorb, sand, intumescent products and fire hoses are used? Do you know how to get in touch with the firefighter service in your area? Did you know that there are different ways to attack a fire, such as fog attack, direct attack, indirect attack, combination attack, and the two lines method? Do you take precautions when cooking with a chip pan? Did you know that in the United Kingdom nearly 20 people every day are killed or injured in accidental fires that started in their kitchen? Do you make sure your barbecue is in good working order at the beginning of the summer? Didn't you hear in the news that in 2022, over 200 fires in London have been connected to candle use? Are you afraid of fires? The last exercise was designed to work on your memory and terminology. I don't know if you've noticed that there was always one long question and one shorter question to make sure that everything was balanced and that we wouldn't saturate your working memory, as it's now called. Remember that our memory is like a little trunk, and what we try to do when we remember things is to take the memories that we have in that trunk out. And that is usually the knowledge that we have acquired, the terminology that we've studied. So memory is not something abstract, it's something real. And you have better memory if you have good knowledge. There's no doubt about that. And you can always work on it as well. I hope you've enjoyed today's session and see you again next week, hopefully. Thank you very much.